Let me check it out right quick, right here, right now, right live. Are we good? Okay. So, man, thanks for stopping back in. And I'm telling you guys, I'm going through a lot right now just by having this douche on the screen as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, right? Like, I really don't like to cover this guy because I'm a hammer it. I'm gonna tell you. So I got this comment from this person who was clearly like a Mr. Snowflake supporter, right? And here's the thing, right? I can read facial expressions as good as anybody, so I don't need whatever dim-witted you're gonna reply to that you think I can't discern disgust with. Like, I can read this dude's face as well as anybody else. So stop it. Let's stop all that, right? And I know about the yeasty beast. And here's the thing: it don't matter. Like, look, however terrible a person she is, it don't, that doesn't give you license to also be a terrible person, which he is and which you are, right? And I'm gonna break it down to you because I'm not running from nothing that I say on this channel, right? I can tell you all about this douche right here. And let me tell you something: without reading any facial expressions, I'm gonna read what's on the screen. I'm gonna ask all y'all to read what's on the screen, okay? And I'm watching this dude who's entered himself into a purely female space, right? And I'm gonna tell you right off the rip, one thing I question every single day of the week, every day, every month, is a male who puts themselves in female spaces. It's a very masculine thing to check somebody, right, for that. Like, because if I gotta look at it, if I gotta look at the scenario and all this attention on Amberlynn Reed, right, I'm like, she's the easiest mark in the room. If ever I go anywhere, wherever she is, she's the easiest target there. That's the truth, right? You're dude, you're this big, burly, brawny, bounty towel looking ass dude, somehow sitting in a fucking warm room, right, with this big ass coat on, drinking hot tea. And ain't nothing wrong with you. But I'm gonna be really honest and tell all you women, because I know all the fans are women, right? Don't trust a dude that come into your space that don't wanna, like, there's old expressions about it, and this is how men move. And I'm gonna tell you, you guys don't know this because you're not. And I'm giving full respect to women that within your circles, how you guys police each other. That's a woman's place. It's not a man's place to be in a woman's space being critical of them, right? Because I could easily bully a woman, easy. Like, I'm telling you, as a man, I know with attitude, with physical strength, most of the time you're gonna have to be a really, really rugged woman to like deal with a dude coming at you the way dudes attack other dudes, right? And there's things that we say as men that really, really solidify that. You're not gonna know any of this stuff because you're a woman, so I'm not expecting you to know it. I'm just simply telling you that it's not because I'm looking at this dude and he fits the profile of the majority of sex predators in the country. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about that you look like you come from a stock that is known to be doing some pretty foul things associated with women. I'm not bringing that up at all. I'm simply saying, as a man, like Jay-Z says something, I'm gonna drop some real masculine, because clearly you don't have a man in your life to tell you when another dude is out of pocket. Obviously you're a woman, so I'm never expecting you to do that. I would expect a woman to tell me when she feels like another woman is out of pocket, or what actual feminine behavior is. Like, that's okay. And as a man, I'm accountable to men. I'm accountable to keeping men in check. If you guys want us to be the same dudes that check other dudes who are abusive to women, like, if you want that, I'm saying it live and direct to you. If you want us as men to be accountable, to check and police other men when they get out of pocket with their behavior towards women, with abuse, with violence, with sexual aggression, this is how it looks like. It looks like a dude coming on and seeing a man in a woman's space and immediately having a response to that. So for all you women who listen to this dude, and I know that's because dudes wouldn't support a dude like this, right? Most men are going to have a reaction to this kind of person as like, yeah, you're kind of a douche. You're kind of a punk. You're the dude who joins the female wrestling team. You're the guy who goes out and plays on the female volleyball team. That's who you are, because that's where you feel like you can be dominant at. You can be the bully. And you go after what the easiest. This is why I don't got no respect for you. This is why I don't got no respect for you, because you looked at what was on the internet and you decided that, let me bully her. Let me bully somebody who looks soft. Like, I got respect if you come at somebody that's hardcore, right? If you come at somebody like, that's another man right there, he's at the top of his game, I'm gonna challenge him. I'm gonna take him on, right? Like I'm just being real with you. I'm laying out some logic for you guys here as is coded for men. And I'm saying that for a lot of you women, if you didn't have brothers, if you didn't grow up with your brothers in the house, if you didn't grow up with a pops that was around, you didn't have uncles, you watch how we interact. And I'm not talking about in a toxic male way. I'm talking about in a straight, like, I'm teaching you how to be a respectful man. That's where I'm coming from, right? I'm teaching you how to be a respectful man. And if you're going to be a respectful man, the first thing you do is you give women their space to operate in their space. It's easy for me to go down to the, like, dude, I watched a WNBA pro player, right, get sliced up by a male college player. That's how, like, and it was belittling. It was belittling. That's why we don't do that. Now, I know there's some exceptions, right? We talk about the great Cheryl Miller, right? And how she put up numbers and even handled her brother, Reggie Miller, who was a Hall of Famer. So we give her full respect, man. We give full respect to any woman that's doing it at the top of her game. It's never that at all. But I'm saying in general, there's some arenas where women are going to be sharper, faster, better, and there's going to be some where men are. So when I see a dude, I see a big, thick dude like this, bullying women and running in female circles, my man radar immediately pops up and says, yeah, something I don't like about this situation. It's something I see about this situation that don't sit right with me. And that's what I'm saying when I see this dude, right? And I'm saying the reason that most guys aren't into this stuff, right, is because we don't be in female business like that. Like Jay-Z said, men shouldn't gossip. That's a female trait. And that's 100% is, right? Dudes don't sit around, dude. Steel makes steel. Like steel sharpens steel, right? That's how, as a dude, that's how we remain competitive at what we do, even among your friends. I'm going to test you out a little bit. I'm going to push you a little bit to make sure if I see you doing something out of pocket, if I, like, God, look, man, let one of my friends find out I'm up here bullying some woman. Let my friends find out about that. Let my uncle find out about that, right? And it's a conversation that we now need to have about my behavior. And I'm simply saying that because you're a woman, you not understand how men are supposed to move. You guys want behavior from men, but you don't want men to have to be accountable to other men. And the first accountability is remove yourself from this female space. Remove yourself from it. Your role in life as a man is not to pick out a fat girl who's clearly the weakest mentally, right? Like, you're massively grotesquely overweight. Without banging too hard on fat people in general, I'm simply saying, like, I can already read that mentally you're not that strong, right? You went through all this professional levels of, like, I need to lose weight for my health. When you see someone who's continuing to put their lives at risk because of their gluttony, right? It's a massive problem in what's going on inside their head, right? Now, I'm being 100%. I have my challenges and I'm working on my weight right now. And I understand that all of it is I have to be strong enough to be disciplined every single day to make sure, okay, I'm eating properly. I'm getting my workouts in every day, right? I'm living a healthy lifestyle. It requires that discipline, right? So when I see a fat girl, right, I know she's soft. Look at her. She looks soft. So the fact that, like, you could actually muster up some time to go in on the fat girl, I really got a lot to say to you about that, man. I'm ignoring the fact that your beard don't match your hair. I'm ignoring that. I'm ignoring that you a dude sitting there with a Kermit the Frog, right, Muppet, for some reason, some weirdo freak reason, sitting there in a warm house on a warm couch with a warm jacket on, sipping some warm tea. I got a lot of questions about where you're coming from, but I'm going to start and end with, yeah, you really need to check yourself. You need to be removed from female spaces. And if you don't like what I'm saying about it, then don't look to men to hold other men accountable for what you see as bad behavior. So when dudes be out of pocket and a dude's like grabbing up or pushing up on somebody, we're supposed to stop in and check that dude. And we need to do it without you getting in the way. That's the whole problem. The conversation about how men police other men, if we want to stop toxic masculinity, if we want to stop abusive behavior, if we want to stop, like, bullying and things like that, then you're right. Men need to be the ones who do it, right? We need to police our brothers 100%. And while we doing that, get out the way. Stop telling me how you need me to police somebody else. Because the first thing I see is when I see a man in a female space, now all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I got an issue with you demoting yourself or going down to a space that you think is going to be easier. Like, you went from the NBA and now you want to play in the WNBA. Or you were a male swimmer, you were a male boxer, and now you want to go box women. I'm gonna have a problem with you every single time. Not because of like any issues with your gender, simply saying you have all the advantages. You're physically bigger, stronger, more dominant. Your voice is louder, right? You can bully more effectively, and we all pick out our subjects, man. We all pick out our targets, I should say. Everybody. You know who picks out targets? Sexual predators pick out targets. Bullies pick out targets. And I'm saying, I'm looking at the visuals. You talking to me about being able to read expressions? Read the screen in front of you. Read the screen in front of you since you know so much, and tell me what you see is going on here. And I see a dude who's in a female space who feels comfortable being a dominant bullying voice within a female space. If you look at that same dude and you think, yeah, I want to support him, that's the kind of guy, okay, we'll go right ahead. Let that be a man unchecked by other men running your spaces. And if he goes in the future and does something off the hook, well, okay, it is what it is. But I'm coming to you as a man who is going to look at other male behavior. And when I see something that's out of pocket, especially leaning towards a woman, any woman, do you hear what I'm telling you? Any woman, she needs to be accountable for whatever she did. If she killed 1 trillion cats, and she's going to have to face judgment for that. But you ain't the one to judge her. That's not your place. What you need to judge yourself is how do you relate within your own community and your own culture. And I don't think what you're doing is a positive thing. I don't think any of that stuff is positive. I think you're arrogant douchebag who thinks you're better than everybody, and that's how you talk down to people. But I'm telling you, you don't need to be in female spaces. It's 100% bad, and it's not lost on me who you pick on. Okay, obviously, okay, easy target. And then if she ain't around, I go to Foodie Beauty, another easy target in exactly the same fashion. You gonna tell me that's nothing? If you want to sit here and tell, like, I need a third one for it to be the trifecta so we can triangulate your behavior. So I'm waiting on it. But don't tell me when you see him, I intentionally pick the fat girl, and then I intentionally pick another fat girl, and that don't give you, that's your type of who you like to pick on. So be honest with yourself about it, man. If it was a dude, because this kind of guy, you don't want that smoke from another dude. You don't want another dude who'll be like, man, fuck you, or whatever. You want somebody who's gonna cry under the pressure, and then you can laugh about her crying about it. And I'm telling you right now, without doing any reaction, I'm telling you what's going on by reacting to the screen and listening to this douche, right? And that's what I'm telling you. So if you see a dude, and he's a young boy, and look, children can play, and I don't have nothing. This is not about sexuality. I don't give a damn, okay? Because look. It's not even about that. Be whoever you are, love whoever you want to be, but biologically, you carrying the weight of a man. And if you carrying the weight of a man, I don't give a damn how you identify yourself with. I'm asking you to conduct that self with some responsibility is what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying, okay? I got a gay uncle, okay? I still don't expect my gay uncle to go play on the girls' volleyball team because physically he's bigger and more dominant. I'm asking him to, however you feel about yourself, whatever makes you happy, I'm cool with whoever you want to be. I'm simply saying that you do have the responsibility of walking around with male genetics right now in the space around women, and you need to temper who you are. If you want challenges that test yourself against your peers. There's nothing wrong with saying test yourself against your peers. And someone who doesn't want to be tested against their peers is showing me something, right? And I'm not talking about Kermit. I know that's really weird, right? And I was down with Kermit when I was 10, right? I was down with Kermit when I was 10. I used to watch the Muppet Show with my grandpops, right? I had a Muppet lunchbox, right? So I was totally down with Kermit and the whole gang, except Miss Piggy. I never liked that hoe, okay? But everybody else I was cool with, okay? Even Beaker, all right? But when you walking around with Kermit the Frog, like as a dude, and again, I'm looking at you as just like a grown man, just a grown-ass man. If one of my homies rolled up, or if I went over to your spot and you sitting up there with Kermit the Frog, I'm gonna ask what's going on. I'm going to ask if everything's all right. I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to cut the video game off. I'm going to ask that we put any beers aside, anything like that, any blunts. And I'm going to ask you, look you in the eyes and say, man, is there something you got to tell me? As your friend, is there something that you got to tell me that's going wrong with this? Because if you ignore that, then I got to turn around and ask you what's going on with you and what you seeing. So you talking about how I'm reading faces? I'm asking you to read the whole scenario. I'm asking you to sit back and say, man, why would this big burly motherfucker be over here in this space that's all females? And it don't sit wrong with you. The dude attacking the fat girl. Like, I know who the most defensive person is. Like, if I walk into a room and I'm like, I'm going in on somebody, and I've had to do this before. I've had to pick out, okay, I need to prove a point right now, right? I gotta prove a point right now to this group of people right here. So who am I gonna go at? Am I gonna pick the weakest one? Nah, that's not how I roll. That's not how I want to roll. I don't want to be like, yeah, he beat up the weakest person here. I want to be like, if I gotta prove something, I want that blade to hit blade. I want that steel to grind on steel. Because now I can show you something about myself. I can show you what I am. That you can be at the top, you can be at the king of the hill, right? And I'm still gonna go at you. I'm still gonna go at you, right? Right? I mean, that's just how men think, right? If David can go against Goliath with a stone, right? I can go with Jay and Nas both for the chrome. That's what it means. The story of David and Goliath is I saw that big dude and I'm like, what's up? What you got? If it's somebody I need to take down, it's not like, yeah, okay, some other girl could take care of her, right? If I see some girl in the neighborhood, she's wild, maybe if she says something disrespectful, I'm not going to go try to deal with that myself. I'm not going to argue with her. I might say something to my cousin or, someone in my family who could go speak to her woman to woman to kind of get that shit squashed. But to be a dude and put yourself, I would be embarrassed. I would straight up be ashamed. I would be ashamed to be like, oh, I spend all my time talking about this fat white girl. I feel like I'm so shocked by what she do. You a douche, man. Like, that's really what it is. And I'm pulling your man card in every way possible. Like, and I'm looking directly at you and say something about it. Right? Say something about it, because I know, because you want to deal with somebody who's going to cry in the aftermath of it, right? That's what you really, really want. So I'm checking you over it, and for any of you women, like, this is what it looks like when you talk about men holding other men accountable. This is how we start off by doing it. We checking your behaviors. We checking what we seen you do in public. I can't check what you're doing on the phone or what you're doing in the dark. I don't know about those things, but I see you out in public, and I see you as a man getting aggressive with a female. If I see you online doing the same type of bully, I'm gonna check you. I'm gonna step in, and because that's what it is, right? So those are my thoughts. That's my reaction. I don't have to play a video to talk about exactly what you're doing, and you need to be accountable for it. And I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna stay on that. I'm gonna stay on it because I'm zero respect, dude. Zero respect. And when you hear this, when your fans hear this, they gonna know exactly what I'm saying because I'm right. I'm 100% right. I'm 100% the one, and you need